Hello and welcome to Jill Cameron Creations. We are looking at the June Hedgehog Hollow Kit today. Hello. So we're going to go over this month's Hedgehog Hollow Kit, and it is adorable. Okay, so the first thing that we have are some die cut shapes here that are chipboard. Let me get another color over here so you can see them. Aren't they cute? Really pretty, really delicate, really detailed. So there's those. Set that off to the side. And then we have the stencil. We have some geode bears, bunnies, butterfly, a leaf, a giraffe, and an elephant. And then we have, oh, I put that back in the package backwards. Come out, wherever you are. There we go. And we have this beautiful geometric design here with the word kind that goes with the small sentiments. And our small sentiments, here we go. Let me take that out so we can see. There we go. So one word can change someone's entire day. Being unique is better than being perfect. Be silly, be honest, be kind. You're one of a kind of beautiful. Always be kind. Be your own kind. You're so kind. One of a kind. And then 3 different sizes of be. And then we have some beautiful patterned papers this month. And they are double-sided. And these are perfect for ink blending or watercoloring or Copic coloring or whatever you wanted to do with them. There's lots of different designs and pretty stuff on these. So that's this month's kit. And we're going to get started. And I'm actually going to be making a slimline card using these elements. I'm not going to use the circles. So I'm going to apologize up front. I had a little bit of technical difficulties when I started filming this. My camera kept cutting off for some reason. I have no idea what was going on. So what I did was I took the all of the die cuts that are included in this month's kit and I painted them. And I used a metallic folk art. The purple there is metallic folk art paint. And then I just used white acrylic paint, and I'm going to use also some black acrylic paint. I'm going to also include a little bit of shine on some of these. I also had already gotten the distressed speckled egg. So I used that distressed speckled egg spray oxide on the largest die cut. And it is absolutely beautiful. I love that color. It's so cool. All right, so I'm not worrying about these being absolutely perfect. I want the edges of this to show up that they are a different color. I want it to look messy on the sides of it. I don't want it to be perfect. That blue up there is that speckled egg on that dark. It was amazing. So I'm sorry my camera cut off on me on so many parts of this, and I think from here on out though I got everything that I needed to. It just kept cutting off for some reason. Alright, so I just took a paintbrush, painted all of those, And now I am using Perfect Pearls. I put Perfect Pearl spray over absolutely everything, and it's gorgeous. It gives it a huge, huge shine on everything. And I love how it changed the color of the Distress Oxide, because remember, Oxide inks oxidize when they have water on them. So absolutely amazing. I'm going to take the stamp that is the kind stamp. It has the sentiment, the big scripty kind sentiment that's included in the kit that we looked at. And I'm going to take this big geometric stamp and I'm going to stamp it on the background of this. This is a very busy card and I absolutely love it. And it's a slimline card. For slimline cards, I know there are a lot of different sizes out there, but I keep mine very simple in that it's 9 by 4 1/4. And I just was looking at the difference between, do I want to do a white card base or do I want to do a Kraft card base? And I didn't like the white anymore after I looked at it a couple times, but I think this would be really cool with the white, in the white on white, if I did the stamp in light gray on the back of it. I think that would be really cool. So just a lot of different options with this. Instead, I went with a dark brown ink, a chocolate ink on the Desert Storm cardstock and on the Kraft cardstock, and it softens out, of course, as most inks do. I have mentioned this over here on my channel a couple of times and over on my blog at Jill Cameron Creations. I have a hard time getting a smooth edge on black cardstock and Kraft cardstock when I cut it. No matter how I cut it, I get a ratty edge on it. If you have that same problem with any color cardstock, lay the cardstock down flat and take a rough kind of paper towel and rub along that edge. It'll remove the fuzzies from it. Amazing tip that just makes everything look so clean and nice. And it's only a couple colors that I have that problem with, and it's mostly black and Kraft for some reason that I have that problem with. I don't have it with purples, I don't have it with navies, and it's not a blade issue because I changed my blade and I have the exact same problem. So I think it has to do with the weave, the texture, the color, all of that kind of stuff of the paper. And to get rid of those fuzzies, just run a paper towel, lay it down flat and rub vigorously a paper towel over the edge of that, and it will take those fuzzies off. You could also probably do it with like a paper sander kind of thing, but I didn't want to, grabbing a paper towel is just really easy. You don't have to dig through anything. And it can't be like a super soft, I think Sparkle's paper towels are way too soft. You can't do that. This needs to be more along the lines of like a dollar store brand that is like super rough, that immediately kind of disintegrates when you get it wet. It needs to be one of those kind of paper towels. And that's usually what I keep in my craft room, just because they're inexpensive and I can put alcohol on it and wipe up stuff very easily and throw the paper towel away. Anyway, so I've stamped all of the image on the slimline background card here, and now I'm just putting some liquid adhesive on the backs of my my die cut images here, and I'm placing them around my card. And then I'm using clear acrylic blocks to hold them down. And the reason I'm doing this is to hold them down for the big one, the larger die cut images there. After I got them wet with the paint, they wanted to buckle a little bit, so I had to have them held down with something that had weight to it to hold them down on there. Now, these are thick chipboard die cuts. So what you'll want to do to cut the edge, see I have them hanging off the edge of there. You'll want to actually use scissors to cut these off, because I tried to do, you'll see in just a minute that I actually tried to put these in my guillotine style paper trimmer, and it doesn't do anything but cause it to kind of bend at the edge because I don't have a whole lot there. So use scissors. Use your heavy duty scissors for that, and it will cut right clean in two. The glue that I'm using is Elmer's Glue All Glue, actually. Because of the shutdown here in the United States, I had some trouble getting my hands on a lot of the glue like the Nuvo glue that I really liked. So I had to come up with something else, and my something else was to actually use Elmer's Glue All, and I put it in a small needle tip bottle, and I really like it. Um, it I wouldn't recommend it for scrapbookers. I really wouldn't, just because I don't think it's archival safe. But as far as it dries matte. It dries really, really matte. So I'm kind of really liking it. Just FYI on the glue front there. So this is finishing up this card. To put a sentiment on this card, I die cut the word hello using a scripty font in my Silhouette Cameo, and I die cut it using my mat, and I did the same thing I would if I die cut it through a manual machine and a hello die, and die cut it 3 times and then stacked them up, which we're going to do here in just a second. So don't forget to head over to the Hedgehog Hollow and get your June kit today so you don't miss on these absolutely adorable Geo images. And see, here's the, this one, I think it actually cut it, no problem, but no, it didn't. It messed it all up. So I ended up having to go back with scissors and do it. It just didn't cut. So lesson learned, you have to cut it with scissors. Ta-da, cut it with scissors. And don't stick your hand through under the blade of a guillotine trimmer. Just don't do it. Don't do as I do. I can't believe I did that, but I did. So head over to the Hedgehog Hollow and get your kit today. And then also don't forget to check out all the other design team members' posts. And I will have 3 more for this month. Also, I would like to mention that you head over to my blog, Jill Cameron Creations, and I'm doing 30 days of cards in the month of June. So I have a bunch of different cards that I'm demonstrating and showing off for this month. Now, I have 2 different pieces of paper here, and I have 2, as you saw. I have one that I only cut 1 from, and then I have 2 here over on the right. And that's because I use inexpensive, cheap, index weight, kind of not exactly white cardstock to put behind my sentiment. So I have my main one, which is Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock, and then on the right there I have an index weight, inexpensive El Cheapo cardstock. It saves me money in the end because I really do like to stack up my sentiments, but why do I want to waste my good paper on something that's not going to be seen? Now, if you were going to do like a rainbow stack so you can see that rainbow from the side, that's a completely different thing. This, I'm just stacking it up so I have that that dimension also that goes with all of the die cut elements that are already on the card. So I'm just using inexpensive paper to do that. If you've never stacked a die cut sentiment before, start in the middle and line up that middle letter, and you saw me set down the L there. If you set down that middle letter first, everything else will quickly fall into place. Oh, I had a piece of paper stuck in there. And then all you have to do is fidget with it a little bit, and everything else will come together. It's really, really simple. I see a lot of people struggle with this. Start in the middle, put a little bit of adhesive down everywhere, and then put that middle letter together first. Don't worry about whether or not the rest of the letters hit perfectly when you set it down, because they're not going to. You need to actually just line it up with your fingers, stack it on the side, and that's it. If you see here, I'm just using my fingernails and my fingers to just literally stack it up. No big deal. So I hope you enjoyed today's card. And I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid adhesive to put this back on the front of the card. And then we're also going to use some Nuvo drops in an Ivory shell, I think is what it's called. It might be called something else, but it'll be in the description below in the products I used. And add some dots across the front of the card. So I hope you enjoy this card today. Don't forget to stop by the Hedgehog Hollow shop and pick up your card kit today. And also head over to Jill Cameron Creations and see what else I'm creating.